Welcome to our program on Kardec Radio.
Hello, my friends. This is Angie Stewart from Via Inner Light, and we are live here in Kardec Radio and in few other platforms too of Kardec Radio, YouTube, the Kardec Radio app, and also Mia Inner Light. So welcome, welcome. If it's your first time here, we studied this beautiful book among brothers of other lands, and also this book, the Gospel According to Spiritism. And we usually study like 45 minutes the book Among Brothers of Other Lands. Today we are in chapter 36. This book is almost finishing. It goes only until chapter 42. So not many extra weeks. It's exciting. I love when I'm studying a book and it's almost finishing because I'm already preparing for the new book. Let me just put here if I can see comments because I'm so bad with this, but I think now I can see comments. But it will be the new book. The new book, it is What is Spiritism? I know most of us, especially here in Kardec Radio, we already know Spiritism. But in reality, a lot of us, we think we know Spiritism. We don't really know it deeply. So this book will be very good to give us a whole new way of understanding it, knowing a little bit better who was Allan Kardec, what he did, and in details about his own opinions and his own thoughts about Spiritism and how he answered people that did not believe, did not agree, the ones that really were against Spiritism. So it's like this conversation that he tries to show his points of view and tries to understand the points of view of other philosophies. So it's very, very interesting. It's very good for us because that's the way we can also talk to other people that they don't know what is Spiritism. And it's very, very important for us to be really like Kardec. Nowadays, because of social media, it's so easy to confront people, to have like a disagreement, a fight, and then we end up having terrible issues with our neighbors, with our friends, with family members. This is not something good. So we need a lot to learn. We need a lot to learn with Kardec. So if you are new here, I love to have a bottle of water because this is for me like a medication. We in Spiritism, we believe the spirits, they can really send their energy through water, to the molecules of water. So they will put there the medication that will be good for us, for our week, so we can replenish our energies, especially during this time that's very stressful. We are all in lockdown in our houses, in our apartments, in our cities. It's not a easy time to any of us. So it will be really, really good to have this boost of a good vibrations. So, and now I want to invite my guest of today, because for a few weeks now we are having a guest every time I do the show. We do this study in a weekly basis. So every week we have a person that's doing our final prayer. And soon, I'm hoping like in few days, a few weeks, we are gonna start also a study group that the part that I do, the second part that I do of the Gospel According to Spiritism, I will be making comments with a few friends. So I think it will be more interactive, will be more exciting to all of us. So I'm going to bring my friend of today.
Hello.
It's Matthew Mills.
Hello.
So hi, Matthew. Very nice to have you here with
Nice,
us.
nice to be here.
Matthew has been following my studies for a long time. I don't even know how long, but it was always very nice to see your name popping up when I saw the comments. And I know he follows so many studies in Kardec Radio. So it's really a pleasure to have you here with us. So Matthew is in Texas.
Yep.
Very good, Matthew. Thank you so much for volunteering to be here with us to do our final prayer. So, right now, I just want to invite all of you to relax, calm down, and I will do our initial prayer to connect with the good spirits. Dear God, thank you very much for bringing all of us together tonight. At this moment, we ask for your blessings, your good vibrations, to inspire all of us, to inspire the ones that will be watching this study, and to us, to me especially, that I will be talking, so I will be well inspired, well guided, to be able to wisely select my words, helping all of us to understand the message from the book. So this message will touch our hearts and will help us to improve ourselves on a daily basis. Thank you so much. So be it. Very good. So Matthew, I will see you in a few minutes.
Okay.
Thank you. So my friends, I show you the next book. And this is our book now. So if you have the book, it's chapter 36. And the title is After All. If you are new, I always read the whole chapter that usually is very short. This one is very short. It's only a page and a half. So I will read the chapter and then I will comment. So if you want, you can make comments, you can write anything, you can ask me questions, and I will be happy to answer. I don't know why, but I don't see anything in the chat room, and whenever this happens, it's some kind of issue that I'm having. But hopefully, you will be able to listen to this talk without a problem. So, as I mentioned, in the second part of the book, there are just a very few, only like 14 chapters in the second part of the book. You see here, oops. And the second part of the book is only two spirits that give the message, and the two mediums, that was Chico Xavier and Valdo Vieira. So they exchange. Now they, how do I say in English, when one person does one chapter, the other person does the other chapter. So Matthew, maybe you can help me. He's my translator. So intercalate, I don't think this word exists in English. In Portuguese is intercalar. When you say one person is 1 week and the other person does the other week work. So that's how they have been doing. And today is 36. So today the medium is Chico Xavier and the spirit is Anderson. So he has a short message, but very powerful, very beautiful. So let's go. The conflicts of our times show failings in our hearts. Evolution has actually become a tragedy today. It looks as if mankind were crossing a tunnel of darkness. Everywhere we are involved in anguish and confusion. What is the trouble? Inquires a neighbor. What do I care? Answers another. What should we do? Let us get on with our work, because Christ's words have not changed. In spite of all difficulties, the gospel has the answer to every spiritual problem. We do not serve for our sake, but for Him. Jesus is the heart of the gospel. The best of everything in the way to God revolves around Him. In fact, we can realize is always a small thing. However, we should not forget that a great city starts with a small stone. We are in the Christian life for the kingdom of God. We can stop we can stop to walk slowly or to go a little faster. In spite of our failings, it is important to our interest now that as Christians, we do not hesitate to take our stand with Jesus. After all, the question is grave, and this is the most important problem of the Christian life. Christ measures our lives not in terms of intelligence or fortune, but through service to all human beings. If any man serve me, let him follow me. And where I am, there shall also my servant be. If any man serve me, him will my Father honor. Jesus, and these words are in John 12:26. This message was written in June 10, 1965, in Silver Spring, Maryland, United States. So if you are new to Spiritism, the medium is the intermediary from the spiritual realm to earth. And the medium was Chico Xavier, who actually psychographic the message from this spirit. So it's a beautiful message, and we have to go deep, trying to understand Anderson's words. As I said, unfortunately, I don't know much about Anderson. I always like to research about the spirit so we know who he was when he was incarnated. But Anderson is one of those spirits that he might have changed his name if he was famous, or he's using his own name, not even a last name, so he can be kept in anonymity, like most of the enlightened spirits like to do. We are the ones who are absolutely nobody, and we want to show off. We want to be all over the place so people will know us. But the ones that are actually elevated, they don't need that. They have their own energy, their own wonderful vibrations, and they are always enlightening us, giving us beautiful teachings without really showing off who they are and what they are doing. So let's go. Let me take a pencil. Where is my pencil? I love to talk with a pencil so I can be guided here. So, hello, Nora. Nice to have you here with us. Hello, Mark Carlos. Welcome, welcome. Nice to have you here. So let's go little by little with this beautiful text from Anderson. So the first paragraph, he says, the conflicts of our times show failings in our hearts. Evolution has actually become a tragedy today. It looks as if mankind were crossing a tunnel of darkness. And this message is from 1965. So imagine, he said that in 1965, he was already feeling all this negativity, all this very hard times and difficulties. So a lot of people like to say that nowadays things are much worse than what they were in the past. This is not true. The things were really horrible, and the things are still bad. The things are not worse. And why they are not worse? Well, they are not worse because in the past we were all used to violence. Violence was something that was normal. There were no many laws, no many rules regulating what could be done and what could not be done. So it was really a wild time, a violent time. Just for you to remember, women by the church didn't even have a soul. Yes, can you believe this? Women in the past didn't have a soul. It was necessary to a pope to come and write. He wrote a special document, and in this document, he recognized women had souls. So this, like, woof, okay, thank you. But it's almost like we think, do we need these documents to prove women have souls? No, we don't. But in that time when the churches were so extremely powerful, it was important. As you know, history, in the time, the churches, they dominated everything. So they were really like tight, controlling a lot of things and controlling science. That's why, unfortunately, nowadays is such a big fight between religion and science. A lot of this is connected with the past because in the past the church determined what was right and what was wrong. And if the church believed in one thing and science have another thing, they did not accept. And the many scientists, they were sentenced to death, what is absolutely terrible. And brought a lot of negative energy, a lot of pain. As we know, the spirits are eternal. So these priests, this high hierarchy people who had these bad ideas, they unfortunately they know this now. They died and they were able to face their own mistakes, because when we discarnate, when we go to the spiritual realm, this physical body and this physical brain, it's really restricted. We are constrained in our own ideas, in our own thoughts. And many times, because of a pride and vanity, depending on many things, depending on the social position, depending on many things, we end up committing more or less mistakes. So, so these brothers of ours, they committed mistakes, but the good thing is that when we die, we will be able to see and understand everything we did. And that's why many times we are in the spiritual realm and we are begging to come back quickly, so we will be able to evolve, we will be able to do a little cleansing of our mistakes from the past. So this is what happened. So we evolved, and as we are evolving, our planet is evolving, and we live here on Earth. We need all our help to keep our planet well. We have seen many videos everywhere because of COVID-19. Most of the people are locked down in their homes. So we have seen many beautiful videos of animals everywhere, animals free. We have seen videos of beaches and rivers that used to be polluted that are really transparent. There is a beautiful one from Venice that shows dolphins in the canals of Venice that are well known for being very polluted, and you can see the dolphins. So this is beautiful. So we are giving like a little bit of free time to our planet to to breathe, to breathe. But coming back to the laws, the law of evolution and the law of society, that's so important for us to coexist in peace. This is the best thing, because we start evolving as a society, and we start analyzing and seeing, no, this is not good. We need to establish rules to avoid certain things from happening. So this is evolution. We are evolving. So we still have problems. Sometimes the problems are different, but we still have problems. But this is why we are on Earth. Earth is a planet of trials, of expiations, of pain. It's of pain. So we have to be here for some time, so we will be able to evolve. And then when we are able to evolve totally, morally and intellectually, both, when we have both in a high level, we will be able to go to a planet that's even more evolved than Earth. So we know Earth is already in the beginning of a regeneration phase, but we still will feel for centuries the feelings of trials and expiations, because that's what we will have to face for a long time, until the whole planet Earth can evolve. So this is the beginning. This is his first message that's talking about, it looks like mankind were crossing a tunnel of darkness. Talking about the tunnel of darkness, today is the day that many years ago, Pearl Harbor, no, I'm sorry, Japan, the United States dropped the bomb in Hiroshima. Very sad, very dark time, very painful time. Thousands and thousands of lives, they were carbonized and died immediately. So this was a very dark time of our planet. So war is something that's extremely painful, extremely painful. And we know that one day it's not going to be necessary anymore. So with our evolution, we will be able, not just me personally, I will be able to be more understanding with my neighbor, or more understanding with someone that works with me, but the countries will also be able to be more understanding, and the relationships will be more peaceful. So the disagreements will not evolve to a point of a war. But as I mentioned before, we are still on that phase that this might happen. And thankfully, lots of countries got together and they signed lots of treaties saying that they don't want this to happen anymore. So we have to be together in prayer, in good vibrations to our planet, and all the important men and women that govern their own countries. They will be able to think about the consequences of a terrible disagreement like that. A war is something that touches thousands of lives, and we sincerely hope it will not happen. But even if a war doesn't happen, we still have so many other pains. We know this. We know that there are so many countries, especially in Africa, where people suffer so much. They don't have water. They don't have food. They really struggle to survive. And this is just one example. But it's the planet we're living right now. So we are expiating our lives, our troubles from the past, and hopefully we are learning the lessons. And the COVID is also a moment for us to reflect. We are all in our houses. We are far from family, from friends. We cannot have our lives how they used to be in the past. So it's difficult. It's very difficult to all of us. It's painful. It's like upsetting, because you want to go out, you want to do something, but then you think, oh, phew, I might hurt someone, or I might get hurt, I might get sick. And if I get sick, I can make other people sick. So you think like, okay, it's fine. Let me stay home. Let me breathe, control myself, meditate, and soon, hopefully, sooner than later, we will be able to go back and experience life outside. Hello, Paula Fond. How are you? I have seen here one other time. I'm happy. I think you are from Canada, isn't it? If I'm not mistaken. I'm so bad, but nice to have you here. So let's continue. So he goes and he says, what should we do? Let us get on with our work, because Christ's words have not changed. In spite of all difficulties, the gospel has the answer to every spiritual problem. So when we talk about the gospel has the answer, we can really connect with the moral teachings of Jesus. So the moral teachings of Jesus, they have the answers to all our problems, especially when he talks about what I just mentioned about the fights, the wars. When you learn that your brother, that's not actually your brother physically, it's not from your blood, but it is your spiritual brother. He lives, imagine, he lives next door, and you have a very hard relationship. You don't even say hello, you just turn your head. When you start thinking, would you like him to do like this with you? And then, yeah, you probably think, oh, but he deserves, he deserves that I do it because he's a nasty person. He never says good morning, he this and he that. Okay, but have you done your part? Have you gone out of your way and said, hey, nice to meet you? Or if you already know the person, hey, how are you? Good morning. Because, we have to do our part too. That's the way we are. And we have also to have an understanding that the people are different than us. I am very outgoing, super talkative. Like I have a friend that says that even the tree talks to me, because I will talk to the tree anyway. But I have people around me. I have neighbors that are not like that. They actually don't enjoy too much of friendliness. They kind of run away. But it doesn't make me. How can I say? It does not stop me. That's the word. It does not stop me from saying good morning. I have another neighbor that see me, comes out of the house to talk to me, and sometimes he's without a mask, and I'm like, oh, mask. But he is similar to me. But the other one sees me kind of run away, like, hey, good morning, hey. Does nobody escapes from me. But we have to do this. We have to do our part and respect the others. People are different. It's not a. I'm doing a lecture that I will be showing in the end of the month in New York, and is exactly about this. We are all different, but this is a blessing. It's a blessing that we are different. So, because of our differences, we can get together and be happier if we learn how to respect each other. If you have in your mind that you will like only people that like the color blue, already restricts your line of friendship, because you will only like the people who like blue, or you only like the ones who are Democrats, or you only like the ones that use masks. We are different, and we understand things in a different way. We believe things in a different way. And even here, this is a spiritist talk, but we have friends here who are not spiritists, who are like curious. Actually, like the program that I just started because of this. Are you curious? So it's a series of questions and answers done really to people that are not spiritists, but they are kind of curious. What is this? What is that? So it's interesting for them in a short way. It's more interesting than watching like a 1 hour program like this, because this program here is for people that are very open-minded. So if you are not spiritist, you are open-minded to be able to listen and reflect about it. But to most of us who are already spiritists, it's good. It's good because we connect our thoughts, we understand, we examine a sentence, and we think, we reflect. And that's how we are able to build up our knowledge in spirituality, but also to build up our morals, because we start seeing good examples, we start understanding. And this thing that I just mentioned, to say hello, to be friendly to that neighbor that maybe is not friendly to you, is doing your part. I'm doing my part. And let me tell a quick story. Well, I hope it's quick. There is a beautiful story of the time where the Nazi, they were with the Jewish people, and they unfortunately were taking them to the concentration camps. So there were these two neighbors in Poland, and there was this old man that was always working on his field. He used to plant a lot of things, and he was always working on the field with this German man used to pass, always like angry and looking at the floor, never really talking to him. But every time he saw this man, he said, "Hello, Mr. Zieber." Forgot his name. And then he never talked to him, but he saw him. And after months and months and months of this man talking to him and saying hi and good morning or whatever, one day he actually looked at him and he gave a hand. It was the most friendly thing he could do. Anyway, time passed, and then unfortunately, one day, this old man who used to take care of his plants and his field was on the line to be chosen. If you go to the left, you die. If you go to the right, you live. And when he looked, the man who was saying death or life was his neighbor. But then he understood he couldn't even talk to him because of the pressure, the stress. He was German and he was a Hebrew. He was a Jewish. So he arrived there. They locked eyes to each other. And then he was an old man. Old people had to die because they couldn't work. But when the German man recognized the man who always said good morning to him, who was always friendly to him, he felt a pain so strong in his heart that he told the soldier to send him to the life side. The soldier couldn't even understand. The soldier was like, he's an old man, but he couldn't question his superior. So this old man, I think his name was Zieberman, Mr. Zieberman was able to leave because of his kindness, because of his heart that touched a very tough man like the German neighbor. So this is just like a simple story for us to understand that even sometimes when people don't demonstrate, deep inside of them, they feel that we care. And that's what is important. We have to do our part. And if the other is demonstrating or not, it's okay. We are doing it. So let's go, because I talk so much, and when I see time flies, time flies. So let's go. Jesus is the heart of the gospel. So yes, we can interpret this sentence in so many ways, because the gospel was written by his apostles who actually wrote his words, his teachings. So we can understand in this way, but we can also understand in Spiritism, there is a book that was translated to On the Pathway to the Light. I always say this wrong, but the translation is On the Pathway to the Light by Emmanuel, the Spirit Emmanuel. And this book talks about the evolution of the planet Earth. It's a beautiful book that talks about the different civilizations that came to Earth and the ones that were already on Earth and brought the beautiful living beings that are us nowadays. And in that book, Emmanuel tells us that Jesus is the governor of the planet Earth. So God gave him that little ball of hot energy, and he was able to manipulate it, create it, and through centuries was able to make it livable so we could inhabit here. So that's why Jesus is the center. That's why for in spiritism Jesus is so important, and his moral teachings are really deep. I always say that to be you do not need to believe in Jesus. You do not need to be Christian, because there are so many beautiful religions, so many beautiful philosophies that also follow beautiful teachings and very similar to the moral teachings of our Jesus, Confucius. There are many, many different ones. So it is wonderful. But for Spiritism, Jesus is the most important figure. This is this man, this is very special man who created the planet and after donate himself, coming to live with us, these beings that were much, much, much less evolved than him. So he came like a teacher, trying to help us to understand. So difficult we are. We are still difficult. So imagine more than 2,000 years ago. We were, forget about, we were a disaster. So, and then let me continue here. We should not forget that a great city starts with a small stone. This is very important. We are talking about the city, but think about us. Think about the little children. So the little children, they already have seeds inside of them. So from very, very young age, you can notice when a child is inclined to something good or inclined to something bad. And it's the point of the mother and father, the uncle, grandmother, whoever is taking care of these children, to really guide the children and say, no, you don't do that. This is not good. This will hurt you. You don't beat up animals. You love animals. You are teaching. So, and that's how it starts. The city starts with the little stone, a gigantic building of 100 floors. It starts with one, and not even one. Starts with the basement, because we know that everything that's going to be large needs to be a very strong base, a solid base. That's why we say Spiritism helps us to have a solid faith. Because if our faith is not solid, if our faith is kind of, yeah, it's okay. Whenever we have the first big problem in life, we are going to throw everything and say, no, I don't believe in God. I don't believe in anything. Life is a misery. I hate everything, because we really didn't have a solid faith. When we have a solid faith, we understand life on earth is not paradise, and we will all go through difficult problems. All. There is no exception. There is no lucky people. You probably think, oh, but I know a person that's absolutely happy and has a wonderful life, is very rich, and the husband is marvelous, and this and that. Okay, maybe this is what she's showing, but maybe inside the husband is not that perfect. Maybe her riches are not that rich. She has lots of bills to pay, a lot of stress. We don't know. Maybe she has some kind of a disease. We all have issues. Even if this person has this fantastic, perfect life, maybe someone she loves very much is going through a difficult time. So this doesn't make her life perfect. So this is life on earth. We will all have difficult problems. We will all fall. We will feel pain. But then we have to stand up like the phoenix, come out of the ashes and overcome it. continue our pathway understanding, we will fall somewhere again, because life is like this. Boom, and you stand up, and boom, you stand up again. And of course, when we have like a group that we can actually share ideas that we all believe, we all understand in a similar way, when you have a family member that you can open up to talk, when you have like something that helps you in the times of difficulties, this is key. This is really important. That's why I always like to say that the real friends you can count in the fingers of one hand. So 5. And it's not every single person that have 5 good friends. If you're talking about going to a party, traveling, doing something fun, you will have a lot. If people think about Facebook, oh, I have thousands of friends, I have this. No, you have thousands of acquaintances. You have acquaintances. Oh, yeah, I know that person. Yeah, I know. But in the moment that you are going through a difficult time, in the moment that something that's not good happens in your life, think right now. If something bad happens to you right now, who you are going to contact? Yes. So these very few people are the ones that are real good friends. And in these friends, you can include the mother and father, because they are also our friends. They are more. They are our mother, our father, uncles, cousins, and friends. But these are the real people that whenever we go through a tough time, these are the ones you can contact. All these thousands from Facebook, you are going to contact this person. The person is going to say, no, forget about it. I don't want to talk to you right now. So this is something for us to think, us to reflect. So let's continue. So he goes also. We can stop to walk slowly or a little faster. Here he's talking about our evolutionary path. You can stop. This is what Chico Xavier used to talk about, lazy spirits. That's people reincarnated, living on Earth, that did not evolve, that stayed stationary. Even if we say that every time you reincarnate, we evolve, even if it's a tiny little bit, there are people who do not regress, because no one regresses. It's not a possibility in spiritist view. But we might not have taken steps to progress. We were exposed to situations that we could have taken a step to progress, but we were like, no, I'm not going to do that. It's too much work. No, not today, tomorrow. And then tomorrow arrive and you never do anything. So these are the ones that stop. And then we can walk slowly. That's when we are progressing a very slow way, or we can go a little bit faster. He's not talking about as many spirits are able to do. Like the spirit said that Jesus also was created by God, simple and ignorant like us. But it says that since the beginning, Jesus was always taking the right choices, always making the right choices, exposed to a situation, always taking the right choices, and us always taking the wrong, sometimes the right. So our evolutionary path was a little bit slower. Another thing you have to understand also is that the spirits, they are created in different periods of time. So it's not that we were created exactly same day that Jesus was created. So this is also important for us, because if we don't think like that, we're like, oh my God, I'm such a horrible spirit, because probably I have thousands and thousands of years living and I'm still making so many mistakes. But we are all created in different periods of time. We don't know when exactly each one was created. So to finalize here, comes the message. Christ measures our lives not in terms of intelligence or fortune, but through service to human beings. This is important. So Christ don't measure our lives by intelligence or fortune, but through service to all human beings. To service. What is the service? What is this service? What is this work to other human beings? Well, I call it charity. So when we are charitable, we are helping somebody else. And yes, there are so many different types of charity. When someone talks about charity, boom, the first thing they think is financial charity, money, giving money to someone. Yes, this is one way of charity. But also when someone is going through a difficult time, talking to that person is charity. And also so many other things that we can do for people, so many charitable work that don't involve finance. For example, I already mentioned here, I created a very simple charitable work that anyone can do. You can do from your home, especially now during COVID time that we cannot socialize with anyone. So the simple project is really writing letters to the elderly that live in a nursing home. So I did this here in Miami in a nursing home that last year I created a music dance performance to the elderly. So I contacted the nursing home. I told them, oh, I have volunteers that would like to write to them. Would this be a good idea? And then she was like, yeah, I think so. Let me talk to them. And then she returned and she said, yes, I have a lot of them that are very excited. How many would you like to write? So when I gave this idea, I only had like 5 people that were like excited about doing it. So I was like, oh, I have 40 friends, but from the 40 friends, only 5 were into writing. And then she said, okay, I'm gonna get you 41 because it was me and 40. I'm like, okay, good, good. So she gave me the list. And the list is very simple. The list is like the name and whatever they like to do or to talk, and understanding they live in a nursing home. So it's not that they can go out. Most of them are very old, they are sick, they have some kind of debilitation. So it's not that they can really get out. But it doesn't mean they didn't have a wonderful past. They also had lives, they worked, they did so much. And it's such a blessing that we can write to them to talk a little bit about ourselves and about them. So this is a charitable work. And you can do it. You can do it. Just contact a nursing home. Talk to the person there. Say that you yourself would like to do this. And if you think it's difficult, it's okay. Then you write to me. You call me, and then if you want to write to the elderly, contact me and I will include you in the group. We have 65 volunteers doing it right now. So this is just for you to see how beautiful it is. So when there is a will, there is a way. This is something for us to reflect, because many times you think, oh, it's too difficult. Oh, no, I can't do it. It's too difficult. No, 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 no. Certain things are more difficult than others, but when we put our thoughts, no, I want to do it, I will find a way of doing it, or I will find someone to help me doing it, and then it will happen. So that's important. So the last sentence, because we have to go to the gospel. I never give much time for the gospel, but it's not good. So the last sentence from Jesus is, if any man serve me, let him follow me. And where I am, there shall also my servant be. If any man serve me, him will my Father honor. Meaning, if there is anyone following me, my Father will be happy to receive him because he will be with me. So Jesus is like really embracing us. So whenever we want to follow him, He will embrace us. He will help us. He will give us support so we can overcome any difficulties in life. And we see this from having a guardian angel. Isn't that a marvelous thing? We have our personal guardian angel that the moment we are born, he or she is with us, always inspiring us to do good. Many times we don't listen, but she is always there guiding us. So we have 10 minutes. Let's go. This is the gospel according to Spiritism. And last week I comment a little bit, but I didn't finish. So this message is in the chapter 8. The title is Blessed are they whose eyes are closed. And the spirit who gave this message is Vianney, Prince of Ars. It's a French priest, has a beautiful life. I posted on our Facebook page, so you can go there, read about his life. And I will just synthesize, we'll read certain of his passages here and comment. So he writes, my father heal me. He's making a comment. My father heal me, but may my infirm soul be healed before the infirmities of my body. May my flesh be chastised, if need be, so that my soul may ascend to you with the witnesses it had when you created it. So in this portion, he is explaining that sometimes our bodies are actually what will help us to improve. Our bodies is what we need to improve in something. We don't understand that. We all want to be absolutely perfect. We all want to be able to see, to touch. We want to be perfect, and not just being perfect. We want to be beautiful, skinny, young forever. No, it's not possible. But the body that we have is the one that will help us. So this physical body is the body that's helping me in this incarnation to go through my trials, my expiations, to live through good times, through bad times, through difficult times. So this is what's going to help me to evolve. And then he continues, because if you read the full message, he used to be a very, very good priest, super, super loving and understanding. He used to spend like 12, 14 hours listening to people in the confessionary. He had a heart of gold. So in this time, the Kardec and a person evokes him, calls him to come to heal this person. This person couldn't see. So they are evoking him so he can make a miracle, for example, and make her to be able to see what she never was able to see. And he is explaining that, sometimes not being able to see, it's really her cure. Not being able to see is really what's going to benefit her from this lifetime. And as we understand, we lived thousands of lives. So we didn't live 1, 2, 3. We lived thousands of lives. And through these thousands of lives, we made a lot of mistakes, a lot of enemies. We hurt a lot of people, but we also made lots of good things. We also made lots of improvement in ourselves. So life is like this. We made mistakes, but we made also good things. And the result of this mathematics is what we are right now. But we have to understand that we have to continue evolving, not to get stagnate, not to be the lazy spirit that Chico Xavier was saying. So he continues, deprived of their sight, bless the ones of expiation. So that's what he's saying. When you are deprived of your sight, but you are blessed, you are going through expiation, you are growing through one incarnation that will be very difficult, but will do a cleansing of your soul because of something that you did in the past. And then he continues, Christ to pluck out your eye if it is evil. That's what Christ said. Pluck out your eye if it is evil, and that it would be better if it were cast into the fire than be the cause of your perdition. So it's powerful, it's painful. You're like, whoo, pluck out my eye and remove and throw it on the fire. It's very visual. When you think like, whoo, it's very visual. But what Christ was trying to say is if your eyes are bringing something negative to you, destroy it. It's better not to have it than to have it and causing a damage for yourself or for others. And the example of damage is like a person that has both eyes, but the only thing this person sees is anger, is hatred, is envy, doesn't see anything good at all. Everything this person, this man or woman, they see is something that's not good. They see the husband of the other woman, they want it. They see whatever, and everything is always negative. They are not able to connect with beauty. They are not able to connect with the sun, the moon, the animals, the plants, whatever. So many beautiful things in life. Even if we have a hard time, if we have a difficult family, if your job is very tough, if a COVID is driving you crazy, there are things that you can see beauty. But if you are not seeing it, be careful, because these words are for you. So if you are not seeing anything good, you might lose your sight for your own benefit. And then he continues, they can fully live the life of the soul. They can see more than you who can see clearly. So this is also important, to see the life of the soul. You know, when we go to the spiritual realm, we fully understand it. We fully understand because we can see a person and you can read their thoughts. And when we are here on earth, someone is smiling, so happy. Oh, nice to see you. And maybe this person is a false person. As soon as you leave, this person is like gossiping badly about you, hurting your image. So this unfortunately happens a lot on earth, but in the spiritual realm you can't do that, because whenever you are more elevated than others, you can see everything clearly. And then he continues, lives in contemplation and love, images that are less pure and less sweet than those that have been given to you to behold your blindness. So here he's mentioning to this girl who wants so much to see that sometimes it's better to be blind. It's better to imagine certain things in the way you think they are good than be able to see something that will ooh, 10 o'clock, my goodness, that will not bring some enlightenment and some help to you. So just the final portion here. The open eye is always ready to cause the soul to fail. Shut eye enable it to reach to God. Blindness of the eyes is often the true light of the heart, while a sight is frequently the dark angel that leads to death. Very powerful, very important for us to reflect. So the shut eye, the eye that is closed, is actually the eye that we will be able to reach to God. And the open eyes many times is the eye that will be seeing what is not good, wishing what is not good, hoping to have more than what they can, developing this envy. That's what we need to avoid. So touching, beautiful message for all of us to reflect. So now, my friends, we are finishing. It's 10 o'clock, and we are going to do our final prayer. And Matthew, are you there? I can't see where Matthew is, so he could do our final prayer. Oh, where are you? Are you back? Very good.
Good.
Hello, Matthew.
Hi.
Very good to have you here. So it's 10 o'clock. All my friends, thank you so much for being here with us. So now we're gonna have our final prayer. And Matthew,
Okay.
it's up to you.
Okay. Father and Lord Jesus, thanks for this session. We thank you for this session. We thank all the friends that made it and that got to listen to it. And we ask you for our help in our progress and how to be better with ourselves and with others like us. And I and please help us on our way. And I ask this in the name of thy Son, Jesus. Amen. And so be it. And so be it.
So be it.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart.
Mm-hmm.
My friends, thank you to all of you for being here with us. It's always a pleasure. And 10:01, I sincerely hope to see you soon. If you can, please visit our new program. Please send the YouTube channel of Mia Inner Light to your friends so we can actually bring the good news to others too. Thank you so much. Thank you, Matthew. See
Thank
you
you.
soon.
See ya.
Bye, everybody.